I am Luke Akhterburg, and I'm from La Crosse, Wisconsin. The name of this piece is Inchoate, and Inchoate is a burgeoning beginning, kind of like the start of something. Inchoate was one of the first pieces that I did in the I series. The work is about my subcultural growing up. So when I was growing up, I was involved in art, but I was involved in hot rod culture, going to car shows, running around on skateboards with a backpack full of paint, doing graffiti, and so those things feed into the work, as well as comic book culture, calligraphy, and snowboarding a lot. So all of that stuff kind of feeds into the work, and it is something that I want to make exciting. But this one, if you look at the overall shape, it's the letter I, a very stylized letter I. It sounded like the Momentum exhibition it was written for the style of work that I do. It was asking for things that were extremely fluid and a lot of motion, and those are things that I'm always constantly trying to achieve in the work that I create. I really like fluidity and motion, and it just sounded like Momentum was definitely a description of the type of work that I do, so that's why I chose to enter it. So with the hot rod idea, this piece, I decided to go very whimsical with the color scheme, and in the 70s, Dodge Mopar had a custom color for the Challenger and Charger that you could order from the factory, and that color was Plum Crazy Purple, which is what the color is on here. It's Plum Crazy Purple, and then I had to contrast it with this nice lime green to get it to really stand out and be nice and hot. And it is an automotive acrylic, single stage automotive acrylic that I paint these with. First of all, I'd like to say thank you. You've been quite gracious hosts, and I really appreciate the opportunity, and I think that the exhibition that you've put on, the location is top notch, and I would say thank you, Blue Springs, for hosting me.
Hi there, I'm Jonathan Bowling, and I'm coming here from Greenville, North Carolina. Well, I've called this piece Wheels. Mostly what I do is make horses and other animals out of repurposed steel. I think using things like agricultural tools, plows, wagon wheels is a very good way to present, a horse, in that we can look at it as history. Here's the old farm implements that are basically telling a story. They're telling the story of, farming, whatnot. This piece has a great deal of railroad material in it, and with the name of the show being Momentum, I thought, well, nothing could really be more trite to say momentum than a train. And a train, well, it's the Iron Horse. Well, I just wanted to say thank you to the city and the people of Blue Springs. Very much appreciate being part of this show.
My name is Tim Jorgenson, and I'm from Wisconsin. In Madison, I'm going to school at the University of Madison. The piece behind me is titled Cultivate. What it is a grouping of large seeds similar to human form to kind of resemble humans as we move around the nation and plant ourselves in cities and create families, much like you see wildlife growing in the nature. I entered Momentum because I kind of thought it fit the idea of my piece, so how seeds are kind of thrust forward with momentum into the natural world, us as humans kind of follow suit and move around the nation. I'd just like to say thank you for allowing me to kind of place a piece in your city. I hope it brings a lot of joy of people walking by and driving by, hopefully not being too distracting to the traffic, but other than that, I'd say thank you.
My name is Matthias Norman. I'm originally from Germany, but based in Brooklyn, New York. I'm the creator of the piece that I installed here under the name Basics number 31. Over the past 4 years, I've been working on a series of works under the title Basics, of which this work is one of. Basics, each piece is very individual. It is like there's no repetition in the pieces themselves, and there have been about more than 30 now in existence. They share a common concern with what is temporary, temporary public art, and what could that mean in regards to actually creating the artwork. So all the pieces are created on site. They're all created out of common 2x4 construction lumber, and they follow a language that is material inherent. And after the installation, each piece will be demolished and gone. In that respect, it will be temporary in its truest sense. I like to spread my work around. Basics has been now realized in, I don't know how many states, it's probably about 20 states. So I like to work throughout the states, not just in the northwest of the US. That is why I'm putting my work out there with the hope to be invited to install work, and that's why I, in the first place, entered for the competition for this exhibition, for Momentum. On a second note, I do appreciate that a city has these kind of programs, and not only has these kind of programs, but that there is actually also like a curatorial theme or an idea, you know, like where a city decides, okay, this year we are thinking about something, right? And momentum, I mean, it's a very vague term. It relates to some. It can relate to temporality. It can relate to movement. It can relate to, you know, something's happening. In direct linkage with basics, it does relate in regards to that there's a temporality to it. There's things moving, which I try to also then translate into the form of the actual piece that I proposed for this exhibition. What I want to say to the citizens of Blue Springs, I have not met that many so far, but the few that I have interacted with in this whole process have been very accommodating and very friendly, and I hope that reflects upon the city as a whole, which I believe so. Keep up your good work.